Bhave, Vice Principal, Mrs. Deepika Sharma, Resource Speaker, Mr. Rammohan Bhave, faculty, members, and all my dear students, a warm welcome to everyone. I, Assistant Professor Archana Deepak, in charge of Entrepreneurship Development Program Cell of Pillai College of Arts, Commerce and Science, welcome you all for the seminar on the startup model. EDP Cell of Pillai College of Arts, Commerce and Science, Autonomous, aims to encourage and refine the entrepreneurial skills in students, for which we organize a lot of seminars, webinars, conference, workshops that will inculcate the entrepreneurial skills in students. This would help them to transform their ideas into realities. I would like to extend my sincere gratitude to our guest speaker, Mr. Rammohan Bhave, for accepting our invitation. Now, I take this opportunity and privilege to introduce the guest speaker to all of you. Sir is a LIMCA Record Holder in the biggest webinar 2009, Asia Pacific GRRF Record Holder 2020 on Valuation webinar, where Sir had participants coming from 170 cities and from around 15 countries. Sir is a Global Record Holder 2019 on Valuation, where again we saw participants coming across from the globe. Third is the faculty and consultant in IFRS, Valuation, M&A, as well as business strategies. Third has been the guest speaker in many international and national conferences. Third has more than 30 plus years of international, national work experience. Third has worked as a CFO, Chief Finance Director in many big companies like Reliance Infocomm, Mittal Group, etc. Now, I would like Sir to take over from here. Over to you, Sir.
Thank you. It's my pleasure. And yesterday I was sharing the memory that I had come to Pillai College in 2005, I think, or 2002, some 15 years back. And it was really amazing way to come to this college and speak on. But I never knew that today how Archana madam found me is also secret. She has not told me. Okay, but nevertheless, I believe that we are all ready to hear out. So now I'm sharing my screen so that you will get an idea what are we up to. All right. Now she has already introduced me, so I am skipping my introduction. I am only covering the part which she might have missed out. That is, I am very much available person to anybody, especially to teach and guide. So anybody and everybody in the world, I tell them that you can always contact me on WhatsApp via this number. If required, we will talk on phone, but initially I deal with, and I have 21,000 connections on WhatsApp. The other thing is, if you want to be my Facebook friend, here are my 41,000 friends. And if you want to be professionally benefited by my association, please do contact me via LinkedIn. And if you want to be sending me invitation, then go for this LinkedIn profile. You can click here. I'll send this presentation to you. I'm in Mumbai. My email ID is given, but my email ID is nowadays not so good. 30 years I was in corporates, 1980 to 2010, and worked with Mukesh Ambani, worked with Mittal, Lakshmi Mittal, etc. Now, of course, last 10 years I'm IFRS Index, Valuation and Business Strategy, consultant and trainer. Last 10 years I delivered 2,000 lectures. around 200 per year. And now I'm business advisory to 20 plus companies. This is my college record, very outdated. I'm a 1980 chartered accountant. I was in IIM Ahmedabad also. So, and recently I became an international valuer. So you can see here IVSC, International Valuation Standards. This is my career journey. I'm deliberately sharing this with you so that you get an idea about the case studies which I'm talking about. So started with Crompton Greaves, then Mafatlal, Blue Star, then in America, and then with Mukesh Ambani in the Reliance Infocomm. And then later on I moved to, as you can see here, I moved to Gammon, India, and then I moved to London. And then I said, okay, enough, last 10 years I'm into it. These are a few current achievements. So I am an independent director on LIC Mutual Fund. And last 2 years I have been heavily into valuations and particularly of startups. So it's my pleasure to talk to you on startups. You can go to YouTube also, these links, and get the startup valuation lectures already put on Rammohan Bhave. All right. So there are quite a few beneficial, like valuation of unicorns and aggregators. All right. So to start with, let me ask you, what is a unicorn? What is a unicorn? Anybody can answer me? This is just to make it interactive. I'm sure you all are eager to participate as much as well. What is a unicorn? Can somebody throw some light? All right. So unicorn is something where 10 million US dollars have been funded. So if you take the names, there is Oola Cabs, Uber, Oyo, Swiggy, Byju's, Paytm. These are all names come to our mind. And they were not the manufacturing companies. They were primarily the service industry. And they took the advantage of the challenge in the economy in order to be providing the services which were a gap in the economy. And imagine Swiggy has now how many delivery boys who got the employment. All right. So here I'm discussing to start with first a story of a startup. Okay. And this story came in my own life in 2002. Are we aware that how many phones were there in 2002? If not, I will share with you. In 2002, we had 2.5 crores landlines and 0.5 crore mobiles. So 3 crores. And the population was 100 crores. We can safely say 3%. And then one day, I realized that when I got into a job with Reliance Infocomm, I realized that I am into a start of a revolution, a startup which is bringing the telecom industry to a big level. And today, if you see, our number of phones in India are 160 crores. And practically all are mobiles. Landline, most of the people have given up. Landline figure is still 2.5 crore, even gone down. Okay, gone down. Nobody is keeping a track of landline. All right. Now, how did this happen? Okay, because 1995 the mobiles came in India, And 1990 to 2002, they grew from 0 to half a crore. And then 2002 till today, 2020, they have gone to 160 crores. Or even if you take 2002 to 2005, they went to 20 crores. Half a crore to 20 crores. In 7 years, half a crore. Half a crore. Right? And then in 3 years, they went to 20 crores. Why? How? Because of the vision of somebody who is on for startup. So I was doing budgeting that time. And when you do the budgeting, somebody like Dhirubhai Ambani calls me. And he says, Mohan, what do you think we should do? So I said, what do I tell you? He said, how much is your budget? I said, look, my sale numbers as against half a crore currently, what the around 10 companies achieved in 7 years, we will achieve in first year itself. And then like Reliance style, we will have 50% growth. We will reach 0.75 and then 1.12. So our growth will be in totality, we will achieve something like 1 crore or 2 crores to 2.37 crores in 3 years. So he started laughing at me. I said, what happened? He said that, Mohan, I'll tell you one good tip. I said, what is that tip? He used to call me Mohan. He gave me a tip that, look, what is the price which has come down to? So I said 8, first it was 16 rupees, then 8, then 4.5, then 2.5, and then 1.5. Okay. So he said that, can you tell me how many postcards are sold in India? So I was like shocked, why is he asking such a question? Because if the postcards are sold in India, what is that have to do with the phone? And I was thinking of that we will bring the price down and then get a market. What people got in 7 years will get in 1 year. But he had different ideas. What he came up with saying that we are not competing with anybody. We are not competing with these 10 companies. Wrong. Make the competition irrelevant. And like that, what is all startups are doing? They call it a blue ocean strategy. Blue ocean strategy means you are getting into a market where the competition is made irrelevant. So if the competition is to be made irrelevant, we are going for something else. So the postcards, if you take a comparison of postcards versus mobile, postcard is 40 paisa. So Dhirubhai said, okay, let us make this 40 paisa. 40 paisa per minute, because it takes 1 minute to write a postcard. All right. Then he said, this is traveling and gets delayed. Whereas this is instant. And this is a language issue because a lot of people, illiterate people, have a problem. But here you don't need literacy. You have to speak only. So he thought that now whatever number of postcards are getting sold or envelopes or inland letters. I mean, some of you may not be knowing even what is a postcard. So then it was found that in that year, 180 crore postcards were written in India, almost 2 per year per person. But the literate people were around only 20-30 crores. So around 10 postcards per year. So you can say one postcard per month. So based on that, what we said was, let us plan something. Now the only challenge was we have a handset cost, and handset cost was anything between 6,000 to 12,000, and which a poor man cannot afford. Poor man can afford 40 paisa. So we said that we will recover that cost. So instead of that, we will do 40 paisa plus 10 paisa, 50 paisa per minute. Then we send an email to all the Reliance employees asking them that if we give you phone for personal use, 50 paisa per minute, how many minutes you will talk, or we will give it to your family members also. Each employee will get 3 phones. So how much will you? So he said everybody was scared, like we used to feel, because those days even incoming was chargeable. We asked first, 50 paisa, does it include incoming? No. There is no cost for incoming. Said fine. So we will use, we used to powerfully say, I will use how much? How much should I use? 30 minutes per day, and we were feeling great. Then we said that in a month we will spend 13 to 3,900 minutes, and on weekends another 100 minutes. So we said 1,000 minutes we'll use. 1,000 minutes into 50 paisa, 500 minutes, and multiplied by 12 months. We said we will use 6,000 rupees we will get. And then our strategy of valuation of startup started. So here are some of the interesting things. The per minute charge was brought down to 1/3, 1 rupee 50 paisa to 50 paisa. And there was a strong belief proven by the startup models overseas, or even Reliance Industries selling petrochemicals, that if price is down by 1/3, the market size goes up by 3 times. So 3 crore phones will become 9 crore. That too, all will become mobile. That's what we said. And then we tested these 9 crores with the developing countries. Those days, developing countries were China, Korea, Taiwan, Malaysia. They had the percentage phones 9% to 16%. This percentage is called as teledensity, number of telephones per 100 people. So we said that India will have a market of 9 crores, and Reliance always believed to recover their money fast. We said we will recover the money in 3 years. Then I hope you all know what is EBITDA. EBITDA means profit, but profit before interest, tax, depreciation, indirectly cash profit before tax and finance cost. Then we said that it is not the 50% growth. We will go for 2.5 times growth. It's like a growth of 150%. From 100, you will jump to 250. And Reliance will obtain, because once we reduce the price, everybody will reduce the price. So out of 9 crores, we thought we will achieve 60%. We will achieve 60%. So that was like a dream. But everybody felt that is that possible? So we took this data and said 30 minutes and found it quite comfortable, but there were various models of startup valuations were created. So that was the first startup valuation came in my life. And then later on, I had the privilege of doing the valuation of Oola cabs, and then later on Pharma EC, if you know the medical sector. Why I'm giving the thrust on the valuation? Because see, you can learn a lot of theories on startups, but how to build a business model, how to create a value out of it, that makes the startup viable. Somebody you may call, or even I will explain you what are the conditions for startup, what are the legalities for the startup. But here I am with you to share my practical experiences on the creation of startup and what are the challenges faced and how the funding is done. Because that is the most important part which the bright students of Pillai should be working on. And startup is a big movement currently. Having said that, then whatever I told you, 900 per month, 1000 considering weekends, so 50 paisa per minute, 500, INR 6000 Indian rupees. And 3 crore become 9 crore at the end of 3 years. 60% market share means rounded off to 5 crores. 5 crores into 6,000 is 30,000 crores. And this is third year. If this is third year, how much will be second year? So second year will be 2 crores. 5 divided by 2.5 is equal to 2 crores. And first year will be 2 divided by 2.5 is equal to 80 lakhs. And in value terms, we said that these 30,000 crores in the second year therefore will be 12,000 crores. And in the first year will be 4,800 crores. And therefore EBITDA, that is profit, will be 2,400, 6,000 and 15,000. And since we wanted 3 years payback, that is, our money should be recovered in 3 years. The total of these three will give you a figure of 23,400. And capex means capital expenditure. Because you have to put a lot of wiring all over India. Wiring, cables, hubs, network. Today, again, what you are seeing, Jio, is a similar model. Bring the price down to 1/3 and expand the data usage by not just 3 minutes, perhaps 10 times. So here goes the calculation. The first year, second year, third year. And we said market will be 9 crores, we will be 5 crores, second year will be 2 crores, and first year will be 8 crores. Now you are seeing here 2 plus 5 plus 7 is 7.8 crores. And I had given a budget of 2.37 crores. And that is where then when Dhirubhai Ambani laughed at me, I realized that he has taken the whole thing much ahead than 2.3. Because he said, if we have to recover our money, then how can you do this? I said, look, there are people who are crying for 7 years. He said, they may be crying. Why they were crying? We must know why they were crying. Okay. So if you have to see why they were crying, the challenge was they were going for rich people. We went for poor people. They were going for prepaid. We went for postpaid. They were building brand. We made mobile a commodity. So much so that my driver's phone was better than mine those days. And this is how then what we did was, and here I'm showing you how much have we actually achieved in 3 years. So you can read this table for a minute and tell me, did we achieve what we wanted? Did we miss on anything? Wherever actually is written is different than the budget. So tell me what, whether we achieved. And what we missed. So you'll realize that we had achieved only 25% share of market as against planned 60%. But if you go to the numbers, 5 crore was done, 2 crore was done, 80 lakhs was done, and all the other things was done. Profit, this, that, everything got done. And even this was well achieved. How did you do that? We did that because we had a zero-based budget. We said that we will open web stores, galleries, how much? 514 in various cities. I mean, in Place like Mumbai, we opened 50. And even the smallest of the cities, we opened 1 or 2. Then each will have 4 salesmen, apart from other office staff. They will work for 8 hours for selling. Actually, they were working for 12 hours, but we thought that they will work seriously for 8 hours. And with the 365 days, we found that totally 60 lakhs hours will be available. And in these 60 lakh hours, we thought that per customer, they will take 15 minutes to explain the SIM, to show the handset, to show the trial of the phone. And in an hour, there are 60 minutes. So it means 4 customers per hour. 4 customers per hour. Now, if there are 60 lakh hours, okay, and 0.25 hours per customer, then you can have 2 crore 40 lakhs, 2.4 crore customers, which can be tackled, okay, which can be dealt with, which can be explained. And we thought that out of every 3 customers, at least 1 customer will buy. So by that logic, we thought that 80 lakhs customers will buy. And that's how you can see the budget of 80 lakhs. Then in the next year, it was a highs. And there were agents, there were dealers, and there were friends of those who already bought, and it spread like an infection. Okay. So, I mean, it spread 100 times more than corona infection. Everybody had a mobile phone. And people said, oh, what is the mobile cost? Hardly anything. Okay. The cost came down from 6 to 12,000 to simplest phone were even available at old market for 1,000 or 2,000. Chor bazaar. All right. So here is the startup which was done with a vision. It was done with a great vision. Now I will take you to the from story to the formality of. So it's a pleasure to be with Pillai College, and thanks to Archana Madam and other colleagues here. And they have been doing a great job because I respect teachers a lot. In my family, everybody is a teacher. My mother is a teacher. My wife is a vice principal and professor. My sister is a teaching a doctorate. My mama, my kaka, my kaku, my grandfather, everybody was teaching. So it's in there. Now we are getting into the details of how to start a startup. So we need research, innovation, ideas, management, team, solutions. And here are the steps. First, you need idea generation. Then you make a plan. Then you create a team. Then you start the business, maybe in a smaller way. And then your success will be achieved. So idea generation, environment scanning, feasibility analysis, project report, and evaluation. What is idea generation? For example, OYO found that most of the hotels are having only occupancy of 30–40%. So they said, why people don't go to the hotels? Can this capacity be utilized, which is lying empty and causing losses? Very much. So they allowed many things. Do you remember at one time a shampoo bottle was costing 100 rupees and no poor man was able to achieve? But today it's available in a small sachet for 1 rupee. Similar way, OYO said that, can I make the deal online whereby a customer can get a hotel for 2 hours also or 3 hours also? And then the utilization started. Today, thanks to OYO, the hotel utilization, the stay utilization has gone up from 30% to 60%. COVID has brought it down, that's a separate issue, but COVID is a temporary affair. What is environmental scanning? Environmental scanning looks into the situation of the people. I mean, if I am going on for my personal work to Delhi, I mean, I may not take a hotel of 10,000 rupees. My company, if it is paying, they might say, we are big. We want Mr. Bhave to stay in 5-star. But if I am going for some college lecture, obviously, I mean, they will not afford so much. Or if I go on my personal front, I will not afford so much. So these middle class, around 30 crores or 40 crores, which entered and became middle class in last 10 years, that was the environment. And the other environment was hotel owners were crying, they were saying nobody is coming. Plus, every time you can't negotiate with the customers on this on the reception. So it's like a marrying. I call it marrying, marriage of demand and supply. So when somebody asks me what is aggregator, I say they do marriage of demand and supply. Then one has to look at feasibility. I'll give you classic examples. A year or two back, somebody has seen Swiggy and Zomato. So they say that why don't we try home tiffin also? So in the environmental scanning, it was found that it is not feasible. Why? Because there is something called as food and drug approval, FDA rules. Now, how can you get that checked for the home tiffins? So finally that was dropped. So legal aspects also one has to see, and legal aspects means health and safety aspects as well. All right. Having said that, we have to prepare the project report, and the project report preparation will be the job of young professions which Pillai is creating. All right. So what does idea generation talk about? Consumers, existing companies, R&D, employees, dealers, retailers. Then environmental, which will deal with the idea. For example, social environment, cultural environment, technological appraisal. Then internal environment, raw material, finance, operation, human resource, and market. Right. Of course, most of the time nowadays, first you have to look at market. The other things can be purchased. So to say. These are resources. These are resources. Right? These are resources, and the resources can be purchased. Okay. So when the resources can be purchased, we have a solution called finding out the feasibility about those resources. So feasibility analysis is the third step. Can we find the credibility of the business? Is it likely to happen? So we say taxi driver by Oola or Byju's for online training. Then market analysis. Okay. Which product and service will get sold? For example, many people are saying now that we will have to move from books to e-books. Then you prepare the project report. Then evaluate. I mean, for example, when we were in Oola cabs, I was saying that every business development manager must register 10,000 taxi drivers in Oola cabs contract. And we need 10 business development managers in Bangalore itself. So that will create 1 lakh. And if 1 lakh are not happening, SoftBank is not going to give funds. But 93% of the startups fail. And the basic reason is you make something what people did not want. Now, this is very funny. At any point of time, I think many people come to me to consult. How do we make this is my brilliant idea. I said, yeah, brilliant idea, show me. Then I say, okay, think of yourself. Will you buy it? Then they keep on saying yes, and like that. So then you create a vision. Do we have a vision statement? What is likely to happen in the future? Are we able to predict the future? Then only it makes sense to talk about having some kind of engagement as far as Then we talk about mission, product, customer, vision, marketplace. Then value statement. And we have a quality, integrity. Now I'll take you to the valuation models also. Okay. Then you should do SWOT analysis. What are the advantages? What are capabilities? What are resources, assets, people? Then weaknesses. Other competitive strengths, problem. What are our vulnerabilities? Time scales, deadlines. Then in opportunities, we look at market development. In threat territory, obstacles, such kind of issues. So the SWOT analysis creates strengths, weaknesses. Okay, so that is what is the conclusion behind this. And now I will take you to the startups in India, the scenario of how it is going on. All right. Right. So startups in India, how they are valued, and I'm taking the live examples. Okay. These are all my credentials. You have seen them already. Yeah. What is the difference between a startup and a listed company? Listed company, you have published balance sheet, hard facts are available. Take the old balance sheet and see how it's happening. But when we say startup, I don't know, we are thinking in air. I mean, you saw the telecom example. The 2 crore market became 20 crore. But who thought it will become so big? Somebody visionary like Dhirubhai Ambani. Then there is a steady stream of revenue. We know that revenues are happening so much. So here, normally if you want to make a growth chart, okay, if you make a growth chart, then it will be like, whereas here if you go for, it is likely to be like this. Now whether this part will reach at all or not is a question. So 93% continue here and die. And that is why the people who finance it are called venture capitalists. Venture means what? Adventure. You expect 9 out of 10 startups to die. But that one which will succeed will give you $1 billion and will make up for all the losses. What are the popular methods of calculating these valuations? One is a venture capital method. Another is scorecard valuation method. Third is Burkus method. And I will recommend all these to bring in your syllabus and train the people so that they will be useful to the industry. If the colleges and institutes are not going to create people with this knowledge, I believe at the BCom level itself, then mind well, they will be not employable. And these are my firm views. Not that these are very difficult. If you want me to teach, I'll teach you anytime. So venture capital method. Venture capital method looks for specific internal rate of return, then looks for perceived risk in the venture, and then multiple of the initial investment is expected. Of course, there will be dependent on other ventures. Then terminal value. Expected value of sale of company. If you want to sell, at what price it can get sold. So then you calculate market multiple or DCF. Now future cash flows are very speculative. Therefore, people prefer the market multiples. So the method uses ROI is equal to terminal value plus post valuation, or terminal value divided by anticipated ROI. That is the post money. Once the money has come in, that's okay. But before money has come in, that is pre-money, that is something challenging. So one way could be post-money valuation minus investment amount. Let's take an example. Expected return is 10x. Terminal value is $1 crore. Intended investment is $1 lakh. What is the post-money valuation and what is the pre-money valuation? I would like to have people who can do that to be joining my company. But we say, no, this will be taught at chartered accountant level. Frankly, it is not very difficult. But we are so much stuck into the traditional syllabus that we don't teach. I mean, of course, there must be limitations from but the new education policy has come. I'm sure that is helpful. Then we come to the scorecard method. जैसे हम लोग करते हैं ना कि बच्चों का स्कोर कार्ड बनाते हैं, उसमें क्या मिलते हैं? मार्क. मराठी में कितने मार्क, हिंदी में कितने मार्क, इंग्लिश में कितने मार्क, geography, history, science, mathematics, how many marks? This says scorecard on your qualities. What are the qualities? Okay. Qualities are various factors. What is the strength of management team? What is the size of the opportunity? What marks you will give for technology? What is the competitive environment? Are we monopoly, oligopoly, or badly placed? Then, do we have sales channels? Do we have markets? What is the additional investment needed? What are the other factors? So here is the explanation by Bill Piane. How the Angel Group went for it. So he calculated mean and median, mode and mean, average, most frequently occurring figure. So using the scorecard methodology, he made certain assumptions and then arrived at the comparison factors. What is the range of hours and what is the target company and what factor we are at? So therefore, 1.075 into 1.5 is equal to 1.6 million US dollars. That is how the average money valuation was calculated. Then I come to my pet Barkas method. I like this method actually. Here, like we say, what is the special quality of that boy? We say his communication skills are excellent. He is very creative, but he may not be that hard worker. So the basic is give the value to the projected success. And what are the risk elements? For example, sound idea. Is the idea sound? Call it $500,000. If the prototype ready, give $500,000. If the quality management there, $500,000. Are there strategic relationships? $500,000. Can the product be rolled out? $500,000. So this is a graphical presentation of the startup business valuation. I hope you can understand it. It's very much, on one side there is a board, on the other side there is a management, and then the customers and the developers. Who are the Indian startups made it big? Oyo, Oola, Udaan, Paytm, Swiggy. So here is Oyo, founded by, you can see the young guy, Ritesh Agarwal. I think it is as young as the students you have. And he made this model similar to Airbnb. And he received this fellowship, only person to get the fellowship, 20 under 20. Below 20 age, he tried this. And he received $1 lakh US plus mentorship. And what did he do? He said, low budget hotels. I mean, I'm 63 and I feel jealous about him, honestly. In fact, I recently became 64 from 30th August, which was my birthday. But when I look at Ritesh Agarwal, I said, he had no capital. Believe me, he had no capital. And his idea clicked like mad. Now it has global footprints. It's in India, it is in UAE, Dubai, UK, USA, China, Nepal, Japan, Indonesia, Malaysia, Australia, and New Zealand. So, the big joke here. I mean, we are worried whether we can expand ourselves beyond Navi Mumbai or Mumbai. And here are guys who say, okay, I go to the world. What is the performance of 2019? Guess which came 18 crores, 180 million. Rating 7.5. Global rank by room counts. Number of rooms which were managed. Third rank. I mean, in a span of few years, you beat all the established players. Crazy. And the partners were 18,000. Hotels were 42,000. Employees were 25,000. अरे हमको डर लगता है एक नया एम्प्लॉय ऐड करने के लिए और यहाँ कोई बच्चा आता है 18 साल का और बोलते हैं मैंने 25,000 एम्प्लॉयज को हायर कर दिया. I think he made them convert them into entrepreneur directly. So they got the Decacon title. Headquarters is at Gurgaon, $10 million US, and last funding amount was $500 million. And that is why it became a Decacon. Decacon is one step further. And currently funding is 3.2 billion. Who are the investors? SoftBank, which you know. SoftBank also funded Oola Cabs. Then you must have heard Airbnb, Sequoia, Light Ventures. So we know the names who are funding. Okay. Then we go to Oola Cabs. This is my pet company because I did that valuation. Bhavish, I met him. I sometimes meet him in Bangalore. Amazing person. The classmates at IIT came together, started doing this 10 rupee kilometer. And believe me, today we say, oh, it was cheaper than auto. Everybody is addicted. We don't say, I take a cab. We say, can we take Oola? Then somebody says, not Oola, let's take Uber. That's all we are left with choice. And we don't have the drivers. What were the problems? Gap identified. I was not getting taxi in my area. What do? I have luggage. I'm 64. Am I going to run around behind some taxi? No. And the taxi wala will rudely say, sorry, I'm not going to this particular location. What do I do in that case? So this was the gap which was found out. Okay. This was the gap. And the taxi driver, poor fellow, he is always under tension. Because he may not get a business and his paid uska daily chalta hai. Whereas these Oola cab guys are secure. Only thing they have to go to the place to pick up the people. And today we have become addicts. Number of users 12 crores, 125 millions. Existence 250 cities. 1 billion rides. 1 billion is 1,000 means 100 crore. 100 crore rides, 100 crore times this taxi is used. Operational revenues, if you have looked, 1,800 crores to 2,500 crores. Amazing. Name of the company is Renai, Unicorn Tag, Bangalore is the headquarter. Valuation is given, funding on the place, and investor is who? Microsoft. And there are other investors, Kia Motors, Hyundai, Deshe, Tiger Global. Then we come to Udaan. Udaan were colleagues at Flipkart, Malviya, Sujit, and Vaibhav. President, CTO, SVP. And they formed it in 2016. The retail industry, so much of a trillion market, unorganized sector, and then suddenly enters Udaan on the B2B platform. And then what happens? Catch hold of focus on small and retail. Okay. It has got the fastest tag in 2 years. Why do we not come to know so much about Udaan? Because they are B2B. B2B and B2C, there is a difference. B2B means business to business. So if we are not into business, we may not come across this. Whereas B2C means business to consumer. You all must be knowing Reliance Group for Jio and handset and mobile. But you may not be knowing that their base is petrochemical. We come in touch with buying of petrochemicals. So the gross mercantile value is 2 billion. So the Udaan again also became unicorn. Again Bangalore based. Last funding October 19. And ongoing funding is going on. Who are the investors? Tencent, Citi, Lightspeed you are seeing everywhere, and Hill House Capital. So we are coming to a situation where I have taken 3 examples of Indian startups which made it big. None of these owners had any great money backing. They were full of brilliant ideas, and we really envy them. We find that the startup valuations really flourish when one can really get into the details of making a business model. And the business model has to be really something which is filling up the gap in the economy. So let's think of what are the currently available startups. We know Amazon, Flipkart, JioMart. So they are in everything. You want to buy a book, or you want to buy a tie, or you want to buy a grocery, Amazon is there. Flipkart is there. Second possibility, I am only into e-books. Or I'm into e-hotels like OYO. Then I say I'm into aggregator of taxis. That is another model. Then there are pharma like NetMed, Pharma Easy. These companies have started to deliver us the medicines at home. That too at a discount. What's happening with that? What's happening with that is that companies have fulfilled the need of many senior citizens like me also. We just order on the mobile and the medicine comes, right? Or I want to order medicine for my parents. By sitting here, and my parents are sitting in Nasik or Pune, I raise the order, it reaches to his home. Similar way, there are aggregators of food delivery, Swiggy, then Uber Eats, Zomato. So what not? You will have aggregators in every sector. Aggregator means bring all the sellers together and buyers together and marry them. Okay. Now the question is, how is it going to prosper? One important thing is it is creating a lot of employment. Second is that it's creating an entrepreneurship skills. It also is ensuring that the underutilized or unutilized assets are getting used. It's a great source for a GDP like ours. Because instead of investing in the new assets, why not utilize the existing assets? Think of a case like OYO, that they're using the, and then there is a huge unemployed youth who can give deliveries, even if they are illiterate. So it's fitting into the economic model. And then who is the gainer? One of the gainer is two-wheeler sellers. All delivery boys need two-wheelers. Okay. So it gives me a joy to say that why not start my two-wheelers industry. Then we are seeing the aggregators coming into every industry by starting a startup. I know somebody has started a startup for second-class car. Somebody has started a startup for second-class computers. Somebody has started a startup for, I mean, you know, OLX is also, or Bima Bazaar or Insurance Bazaar. All these things are concrete examples of how these startups can be created and they can be doing wonders. So we come back to the Burkus model and say that if I want to value or if I want to create a startup, I should check, do I have a sound idea? Do I have a prototype? Do I have a quality management? Do I have relationships? And can I roll up the sales? In fact, somebody told me that if you want to start a business, first thing you do is find first customer. I said, no, I need to register a company. Oh, I need to manufacturing a product. Oh, I need to take the trials. No. Find first customer. Even if you have to give him free, give him. But find first customer. You get the first customer, you're done. Okay. Now, having said that, this has all happened due to the internet and online. Honestly, many of the startups are highly dependent upon being the growth of internet and therefore reaching the data at a high speed, which is a need in our economy. Believe me, with so many people coming into the fold, telecom players, they are bound to increase the usage of data and internet. So today we might feel that we are at 4G and great. No, think of going to 5G, 6G, 7G. Okay, think of going to 7G. And then see how the economy picture changes. Because today, the agricultural products, somebody is collecting them and selling. I know even milk vans, they are able to sell it via online booking. Then, thanks or unfortunate due to Corona, that even our grocer He has started collecting all the orders and aggregating it and supplying it. Or हमारा भाजी वाला, vegetable vendor or fruit vendor, they have themselves become small way aggregators. They say we are local aggregators. And then what happened is that somebody is helping them. They say, okay, in this area, whosoever is going to supply, I will deliver. So new delivery people are coming into picture. Now here I am not talking about the services combination. I am just talking about the goods. Now if you go to the services combination, then you will find that what are the services combinations, and therefore I am telling you where lies the future. Where lies the future? The future lies in very interesting things called ABCDR. The startups will be on ABCDR. What is A? Artificial intelligence. You have artificial intelligence, you will get a job. Then B is what? Big data and Bitcoin. C is cloud computing and cryptocurrency. D is a drone. You might have heard about drone, interesting stories, and digitization. And R above all is robotics. I think few years later, robotics will come in such a way that they will be totally in demand and we may not need maid servants. Okay. So with this, I think I am reaching the time limit 4:59. I hope I have made some concepts clear and I look forward to any questions. I am available in the chat mode now, or if you have any other questions, please write in chat mode or unmute yourself and feel free to ask the questions. I am moving towards the close of my lecture. Thank you to Archana madam and other respectable professors, because they are like personalities who are creating the grooming for future. So I have a lot of respect for professors and teachers. Anytime you need my any help, feel free. Is that okay, Archana madam? I am done.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Just one question which seems one student was trying to ask, that what are the general, mistakes at the initial stage of startup? If you can, highlight on this particular area, that what elementary mistakes, I mean, in the elementary stage, what kind of mistakes that can take place in the startup model?
I mean, I have shown in one of the slides, primarily the customer need is not defined well. That is the biggest mistake. I showed that in one of the slides. Majority of the startups have failed on that account. Are they really getting into a gap which is in demand? If that gap is not in demand, then people make that as a mistake. Okay. Other than that, of course, sometimes people are not able to communicate well. Sometimes people are not able to get the close colleagues. But primarily, are you able to find out that idea which is sellable? Have you checked whether it can be sold? That's the main thing.
Yes.
Yes.
Jenny ma'am, over to you.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, everyone. That was really a very enriching session. Right from the blue ocean strategy to the big data, I think sir has covered up everything that comes under the umbrella of the startup model. So it was very enlightening, even when I was hearing right from the strategic blue ocean strategy to the big data and all the startups that were in India. I hope that the students would have really benefited from your information, sir. It was very, very informative for me, at least. On that note, I would really like to thank you, sir, for accepting our invitation and giving us an opportunity to listen to you. I would like to thank you on behalf of Mahatma Education Society, Pillai College of Arts, Commerce and Science, Entrepreneurship Development Cell, on behalf of our principal, vice principal, management, and the in charge. I would really like to thank all of them, those who have participated in organizing the seminar, and least all the technical team and the student support, without which this session would not have been successful. Thank you, one and all. Thank you very much. Over to you, Archana ma'am. We need to wind up.
Thank you so much, sir. It was a pleasure hearing you, and I'm sure all the students must have, got a lot of insight, and they will definitely get in touch with you because they've already shared the contact details. I'm sure many of the students will directly get in touch with you, and in case of any query, I'm sure that you will be ready to help them as well. Thank you so much, sir.
Sure. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you, sir.
Can I log off?
Yeah, sir.